Hello. Happy Thursday, March 26th, 2026. This is a do not poo poo this level security alert. I want to get off before I go to work. Just a really quick one. It concerns the Dred Scott video I just did, where I took three older videos listed here. I'm also revamping my YouTube homepage, by the way, to make things easier on everybody, because this is just crazy. This is like 7 hours of video, but I was able to get it down to 3.5 hours of video, and I'll just keep doing that with all my videos. But for now, I published this video on the Dred Scott law review article I did. I tried to get this law review article published. Every couple of years, I'll send it out to law review journals across the country. And on September 8th of 2024, I actually emailed it to 400 law review journals across the country. It's like cold calling almost, because I don't go through Scholastica. Every time you submit a law review article through Scholastica, some of them are free, but a lot of them are $5, $8, and it just adds up. So, I just send it out free. I get the email addresses for these places, and I give it a shot. So I sent it out, and then I immediately got rejections. That's fine. It's not fine. I mean, I'm making a list, checking it twice. No, I have it. I saved it all in one file here on my. These are all rejections that came back. I think out of the 400, I've gotten like 50, maybe 100 rejections. I haven't counted them. It looks like maybe 100, and that happened immediately. So like even in September, it was okay. September, October, sometimes they were just out of season. Some of them were just not open for whatever it was. But what happened in all of a sudden, okay, so the last one I received was like January 15th. I said, that's fine. And I didn't hear any more rejections for a long time. But all of a sudden, the Notre Dame Journal of International Law sent me a rejection in May of 2025, like May of last year. And I thought it was triggered. I sent out a do not poo-poo the security alert, I believe, at that time on Twitter, because I thought it was triggered by me talking about Notre Dame women's basketball, talking about the WNBA. I was into security alerts surrounded the WNBA and the Indiana Fever at the time. So I just threw it out there that I thought it was odd that I'm talking about this, and out of the blue, I get this rejection from a law journal. Like what it was almost 6 or 7 months later. So it seemed triggered by something, and I just threw it out there, spaghetti against the wall. Then again, that was this one right here. You see me highlighting it. Then I got one from Boston College in September, a year later, last September. Also rejecting it, and it had to do with me talking about the defense contractor Swamp, and they're trying to maybe do a plane crash of some kind. And all of a sudden, I get something from Boston College, and I immediately put out a do not poo-poo this security alert for Logan Airport, because there was a big football game going on at the time. A lot of people were flying in, a lot of NFL fans, and Logan Airport had this thing in the news where they were doing TSA security searches at a different location, and there were problems or not problems. And I said, somebody's going to try to do some kind of a problem at one of these places. It's just, spaghetti against the wall, but it's better than not saying something. Okay. And then I got, a month later on October 21st, I was talking about Disney, and all of a sudden I get a Barry Law Review rejection, and that's in Orlando, Florida. So I said, okay, Orlando's near Trump. It's between me and Trump. It's Disney. It's got even Universal Studios there. All these people that I'm talking about online at the time, I was talking about CMCSA, and I was talking about Disney, and all of a sudden I'm getting this thing from Orlando. And I put out a do not poo-poo this security alert for a possible either a mass shooting or something happening at the airport or an airplane thing going on. I wasn't sure. And now, yesterday or a couple of days ago, I posted this video of Dred Scott, the manuscript itself. It really focused on what I have what I have in this law review. I explained a lot, and And all of a sudden, BYU Law Review sent me one today at 11 a.m. They sent me a rejection of the manuscript. So this is it's just following a pattern. I'm going to put out just very briefly a do not poo-poo this security alert for anything going on, possibly at an airport. I don't know why I keep getting a feeling it's airport. It's a defense contractor swamp that does this. So I'm thinking there's going to be something going on at an airport. Also, remember, Utah, Provo, Utah, near Salt Lake City, is also what I believe was the tobacco swamp, Mitt Romney, tobacco swamp meets religion swamp. And right now, all the swamps are not able to pull anything off individually. It's always a couple of swamps or all four of them coming together because they're out of money. So now there could be something, when I say tobacco swamp meets religion swamp, I'm thinking something having to do with like the war in Iran, except they're going to do like a shooting because that's tobacco swamp at possibly a Walmart store, possibly at the airport. That's just spaghetti against the wall, folks. Okay, so also that's it. But before we go, I should have probably did this. I just want to read what I sent out when I sent these out. Okay, I'm just going to pick one randomly, like one of the last ones. Okay, this is like a typical thing that I sent out. So this was sent out on September 8th at 10:07 a.m. to the manuscript submission. Please take a few minutes to consider this diamond in the rough. Dred Scott, Dear Wyoming Law Review, if a government does not protect the most critical of all fundamental rights, the right to no taxation without representation, the first law listed in the U.S. Constitution at Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3, it is impossible to protect any other rights, and the unsustainable, corrupt economic system that results is doomed to fail over time. The 16th Amendment nullified this critical right in the U.S. in 1913, setting the U.S. on a course of economic failure. Many do not recognize that presidential nominee Donald J. Trump has been working for over 30 years to reverse the effects of the 16th Amendment, and that he likely plans to have the 16th Amendment repealed during his next presidency if elected. It is commonly believed the only way to repeal an amendment is with another amendment. This is a fallacy stemming from a fraud that was committed against the U.S. Supreme Court in 1957, from which the Supreme Court and the rest of the country have yet to recover. Please consider the enclosed manuscript, quote, Understanding the Great Dred Scott Fraud of 1857, helps restore the U.S. Supreme Court's full authority to strike down the 16th Amendment as unconstitutional for publication in your law journal. The ramifications of this work touch upon every subject of law, but especially business law and international law, because once the 16th Amendment falls in the U.S., every other country of the world will be forced to follow suit and grant its citizens their fundamental right to no taxation without representation, or else fail economically. I cannot afford the cost of submitting this manuscript via Scholastica. Thank you for your time. And then, and it's just what I had in the video. So I sent them it's got the abstract, and I didn't read this in the video, how I found it. And then the next thing I have is, I think I had the abstract at the end of that one too. And then I sent them the abstract. So I read these things, I read some of this stuff, the abstract that I read. So that's all in the video, and that's all. I got to get to work. It's getting late. I'm thinking about resubmitting this specifically to Washington Law School, Washington, D.C. Law School. There's a really tiny, it's almost like a community college type of law school in Washington, D.C. They were the first and only to accept this manuscript like years ago, and I dropped the ball. I didn't put it in Word format. You could tell that they weren't really organized themselves, and then I didn't look very trustworthy because I was at Target when they called me on the Zoom, and I'm in my Target clothes, and I'm trying to talk to them on break, and it looked very janky, and they just said, no, maybe next year, and I never got back to them. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to focus on them. I think they have mostly black students there too, so that would be perfect. I mean, it's not perfect, it's just they were the first to recognize it, and I think it would be very appropriate in Washington, D.C. if it were published there. I would love it. So I'm going to try and I'm going to give it another push, and I'm just putting it out there in the universe. Also putting out in the universe, watch out in Provo and in Salt Lake City, that area, there could be something going on. It's so vague, and I'm sorry, but I got to get to work. Bye. Living my best life. Hang in there, everybody. It's a good day for a great day. Onward, Christians, soldiers who aren't Christian anymore. I haven't used that one in a long time. And Godspeed to everybody. Come out the other side in one piece. That's PEACE and PIEC. Okay, bye. Going straight up, no editing.